Becoming financially smart isn't as complicated as people make it seem. You don't need a finance degree, a six-figure salary, or some fancy investment strategy. In fact, the people who seem to have it all figured out, they're not doing anything groundbreaking. They stick to a few basic habits that actually make a difference. They know where their money is going. They don't spend just because something is on sale, and they never let impulse buys drain their accounts. So, if you're tired of feeling like your money disappears the second you get it, don't worry. It's not as hard to fix as you think. You don't need a finance guru or a complicated budget to get on track. Because the truth is, becoming financially smart is easy, actually. And here are 10 ways to do it. After all, we would all like to learn how to make, save, and accumulate money, right? My name is Mr. Sticks A. Stocks, and I am your host today. Before we start, I have a question for you. Why did the banker switch careers? She lost interest. If you're wondering how to actually get better with money, the first step is to pay attention. But paying attention doesn't mean tracking your expenses crazily all the time. It means understanding the way you think about money. So, how do you bridge the gap between mindset and knowledge? The truth is, they go hand in hand. Having the right mindset keeps you from making bad money decisions, and having basic financial knowledge stops you from falling into traps. For example, a lot of people think they're bad with money when, in reality, they just never learned how to manage it. Schools don't teach personal finance, so most people are left figuring things out through trial and error. The good thing is you don't need a degree in economics to be smart with money. You just need to change the way you approach it. And that starts with small, consistent habits. 1. The tiny habits that make you smarter with money. Now, first things first, being financially smart doesn't mean being rich. It just means you know how to control where your money goes instead of wondering where it went. Ever notice how some people always seem to have savings while others are constantly broke? It's not because they make way more money, it's because they avoid the small spending traps that drain bank accounts. They don't let just one more online order wreck their budget. They plan their spending ahead of time, and they never convince themselves that buying something will magically make them happier. Instead, they focus on making money work for them, not the other way around. 2. How do you actually make money work for you? Most people assume being good with money means giving up fun completely, but that's not true. You can still enjoy life. You just need to do it in a way that doesn't sabotage your future. For example, instead of spending money on things that only give short-term happiness, like impulse buys, shift your focus to things that actually make your life better in the long term. That could mean investing, saving for experiences instead of stuff, or simply learning how to spend in a way that doesn't leave you broke by the end of the month. That shift in mindset, that focus on long-term benefits instead of short-term gratification, is what separates people who struggle financially from those who seem to have it all figured out. But how do you actually make that change? It's not just about knowing what to do, right? 3. The mental shift that changes everything. The problem again is that most people treat money as something they either have or don't have. They see their bank account as a reflection of their income rather than their habits. But the reality is that financial success isn't just about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. And keeping more starts with a change in perspective. Instead of seeing money as something to be spent, see it as a tool. Every dollar has a purpose. Some dollars are meant to pay bills, others should be growing your wealth, and some should be reserved for things that genuinely improve your life. But the moment you stop assigning a purpose to your money, it disappears. And often, that disappearance isn't due to big life-changing expenses. It's the little, unnecessary purchases that quietly drain your account. 4. Do you have the power to say no? So, one of the easiest ways to build financial discipline is learning to say no, not just to others, but to yourself. Every purchase, no matter how small, is a choice. Do you really need that new gadget, or is it just something you want in the moment? Is upgrading your phone necessary, or is it just the pressure of keeping up with trends? Saying no to impulse spending doesn't mean depriving yourself. It means making conscious decisions instead of reacting to marketing tricks or momentary urges. Financially smart people understand that every dollar they don't waste is a dollar that can work for them in a better way. But temptation is everywhere. 5. Automating good financial habits. So, willpower alone won't make you financially smart. Even the most disciplined people struggle with temptation. That's why automation is important. Setting up automatic transfers to savings, investments, or even debt payments removes the decision-making process entirely. You don't have to think about saving. It just happens. Want to save more? Set up an automatic transfer right after payday. Want to invest consistently? Use an app that invests small amounts regularly. The less effort it takes to make a sound financial decision, the more likely you are to stick with it. And once you start building smart financial habits, the next challenge is making sure they don't get wiped out by something sneaky, lifestyle inflation. 6. Avoiding lifestyle inflation. One of the biggest traps people fall into is lifestyle inflation, spending more as they earn more. It starts small, a slightly better apartment, a few more expensive dinners, upgrading gadgets more frequently. Before they know it, their expenses have grown right alongside their income, leaving them no better off than before. So how about avoiding this trap and keeping your spending in check? So even when you start earning more, instead of increasing expenses, increase savings, investments, or debt payments. Give yourself a set amount to enjoy, but make sure the bulk of your extra income is actually improving your financial future. Financially smart people know that waiting often leads to better decisions. If you feel the urge to buy something, try waiting a week. If you still want it after that, it might be a worthwhile purchase. But most of the time, that initial excitement fades, and you realize you didn't actually need it. This strategy applies to big purchases too. Thinking about getting a new car? Give it a few months. Want to upgrade your phone? Wait until your current one actually stops working. The longer you wait, the more time you give yourself to make a rational decision instead of an emotional one. 7. Investing in knowledge. If there's one thing every financially successful person has in common, it's this: they never stop learning. Whether it's personal finance books, online courses, or simply following financial experts, they make it a habit to educate themselves. Understanding how money works gives you control over it. You don't need to be an investment expert, but knowing the basics of budgeting, saving, and growing wealth will put you miles ahead of most people. 8. But that also means surrounding yourself with the right people, because your financial habits are influenced by the people around you. If your friends are always spending recklessly, constantly upgrading their lifestyles, and never thinking about the future, it's easy to fall into the same mindset. But when you surround yourself with people who value financial stability, smart spending, and long-term thinking, those habits become normal to you too. Seek out mentors, follow financially responsible influencers, or even join communities focused on money management. The more you expose yourself to the right mindset, the easier it is to adopt it. Because the ultimate goal of financial intelligence isn't just to save, it's to make your money work for you. That means investing, creating additional income streams, and finding ways to grow your wealth. It doesn't take huge amounts of money to start investing. Even small contributions to a retirement account, stocks, or index funds can grow over time. We need to start early and be consistent. The sooner you put your money to work, the less you have to rely on sheer earning power to build wealth. Honestly, it's better to invest and let it double than to impulse buy because of stress, boredom, sadness, and even excitement. Learning to recognize emotional triggers can help prevent financial mistakes before they happen. But avoiding impulsive spending is just one part of the equation. True financial smartness comes from creating stability, no matter what life throws your way. 9. Building multiple income streams. Relying on a single source of income is risky. A sudden job loss, an unexpected medical bill, or even an economic downturn can throw everything into chaos. That's why financially smart people look for ways to build multiple streams of income. This could mean starting a side hustle, investing in rental properties, creating digital products, or even monetizing a skill online. The more income streams you have, the more financially secure you become. In the end, what truly matters is how well you manage it. 10. Tracking and adjusting. Financial smartness isn't about making one-time changes. It's about constantly improving and getting better. That's why tracking your money is so important. Without knowing where your money is going, it's impossible to make smart decisions about it. Regularly reviewing your budget, expenses, and financial goals ensures that you stay on track. Small tweaks over time can make a massive difference in the long run. So, see, becoming financially smart isn't as hard as people make it out to be. Pay attention to your money, build good habits, and make informed decisions. Most importantly, use your financial wisdom to create a better future for yourself and others. So, what's your next step? Pick one habit from this list and implement it today. Set up an automatic transfer, track your expenses, or just pause before making a purchase. The sooner you start, the sooner you'll see the results. And if you found this helpful, share it with a friend who needs to hear it too. Let's make financial smartness the new normal. For more expert financial tips, click on my next video. For the accountants out there, I have a question for you. Why are accountants so cool, calm, and collected? They have strong internal controls. This is Mr. Sticks A Stock signing off for now. See you next time.